She always kept her head down, spoke softly, and never caused trouble. But the day her abusive restaurant boss grabbed her by the wrist and dragged her across the kitchen floor in front of everyone, she thought it was the end of her, until the door slammed open, and the man everyone feared in that city, the silent, cold-eyed Italian Mafia heir, stepped inside. He looked at her first, and his jaw clenched, then he looked at her boss. What he said next made the entire kitchen freeze. "Touch her again, and I'll end you." No one understood why she mattered to him, not yet, but their story didn't begin in that kitchen. It began long before, with a promise made under the Italian summer sun. Amelia had always known how to disappear. In a world filled with loud people and sharp voices, she moved softly, gently. The restaurant where she worked, a crowded Italian family place near the city center, was noisy, warm, and full of customers who never bothered to learn her name. To them, she was just the girl who carried plates. Her boss, Marco, was a tall, red-faced man with a voice that could cut through steel. He didn't speak, he barked. And Amelia learned quickly that silence kept her safe. Or so she thought. Amelia was far from home. She had come to Italy at 16 with her aunt after losing her parents. Her aunt later returned, leaving Amelia behind when things became complicated. Now 22, Amelia lived alone in a tiny attic room, with cracked windows and a too-thin blanket. Her dreams were small, just wanting peace, warmth, and a place where kindness lived, and in her quiet world, there was only one person who ever looked at her differently, Luca Moretti. He wasn't supposed to be noticed, but he was impossible to ignore. The son of the most feared mafia boss in northern Italy, Luca's presence carried silence in a way that made people stop breathing. He had dark eyes, always observing, and the kind of discipline in his movements that told the world he didn't need to boast. Power walked in front of him. He came to the restaurant sometimes with his men. Everyone straightened when he entered. Marco turned from a shouting brute to a trembling lamb. But Amelia didn't react like everyone else. She served Luca quietly, gently, with steady hands. No fear in her eyes, only calm. Luca noticed that, and he noticed the bruises, purple marks along her wrists. The way she flinched when Marco passed too close. The quiet wince when heat from the stove hit her back where old scars lived. He didn't say anything, but his jaw always tightened. The breaking point came on a cold Wednesday night. The kitchen was overcrowded. Orders piled up. Marco was angrier than usual. A plate slipped from Amelia's hands, just once, and shattered. Silence fell for half a breath, then Marco grabbed her wrist. Hard. "Too hard, you useless girl," he shouted as he yanked her across the kitchen floor. Staff looked away, not out of cruelty, but fear. Amelia closed her eyes, bracing herself, and then, the restaurant door swung open. Cold air rushed in. Luca stood there. Alone. No guards. No entourage. His eyes took in the scene. Amelia on the floor. Marco's hand gripping her, her wrist turning white. A storm moved behind Luca's gaze. His voice was low. Controlled. But deadly. "Let go of her." Marco froze. Luca, it's not." Luca didn't raise his voice. He didn't need to. "She's mine." The room stopped breathing. He stepped forward, slow, measured, like a wolf approaching a threat. "And if you ever touch her again, you're dead." Marco's hand dropped instantly. He stumbled backward, face pale. Luca extended his hand, not forcefully, but gently. "Come," he said to Amelia, not an order. An invitation. Her heart pounded. Not from fear, but because she remembered something. A summer. A boy with gentle eyes, her hand in his. A promise whispered, "One day, I'll find you again." She thought she had dreamed that memory, but now, here he was, and he hadn't forgotten. Luca shook his head. "I didn't save you." He stepped closer. "You saved me first. On that summer day. When you smiled at me like I was just a boy, not a monster's son." Silence wrapped them gently, but peace doesn't come without storms. That night, the Moretti family council gathered. Word had spread. Some did not approve. "She is weak. She is nothing. She will make you vulnerable." Luca stood tall. "She is the reason I remember I am human. And a man who forgets his humanity is more dangerous than any enemy." No one argued after that. Days became weeks. Amelia regained color. She learned to laugh again. Her back straightened when she walked. Her eyes shined with quiet courage. She wasn't a fragile flower. She was a wildflower, one that grew anywhere, no matter how harsh the ground. And Luca, he never once treated her like a possession. He treated her like a choice, his choice point. One evening, they stood watching the sunset over the hill. Soft orange light painted the sky. Amelia looked at him. "Why stay in a world so dark?" Luca looked forward, thoughtful. "Because if I leave it, someone worse will take my place." I can't leave it. But I can change how I rule it. She understood. He didn't need saving. He needed someone to believe he could be more, and she did. Love does not always arrive loudly. Sometimes it comes in quiet promises, in broken bracelets kept safe for years, in hands extended gently, not to own, but to protect. And sometimes, the world tries to break a person, but all it takes is one person, just one, who sees the goodness still inside. Find the one who doesn't cage